J status?
Yeah, he won't go today.
And with that, I assume Jesper's coming in?
Correct.
How much of a luxury is that to have a guy not only coming in with his experience, but a guy that was scoring goals for you only as early as last round?
It's important that, fortunately for us, it's not his first time in the playoffs, so he hasn't been sitting for a long time, and he's had some pretty good success when he's come in. And he fits, so he spent time with all of those players. There's nothing new for him, so he can come in and just play.
Right side, first row.
Paul, you got pretty good production from your offensive production from your defensemen during the regular season, but it seems to have gone off in the playoffs. Why do you think that's been, and how important has that been, I guess, to contributing to your depth scoring?
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to create the environment where they could get involved in those things. I don't know is the answer. We haven't changed anything. We try to get them up the ice. You want to be careful when you get into the playoffs. You're seeing a deeper level of offensive talent on the other team, so you got to be a little bit more mindful of how you join the rush. Both Toronto and Carolina are heavy shot blocking teams. They're really good at it, so you're not getting much through from the point. That might be it.
Right side, first row.
Morning, Paul. Wanted to ask you about what Bill Zito was talking about yesterday with the defenseman with Sylvain, and what impact he has on all of them, but especially the guys like Forsling, Kulikov, guys who have kind of jump-started everything down here.
Well, I don't want to set, for me personally, because I never played in the National Hockey League, I felt I needed a player on both ends of the bench, so I've got Tuomo Ruutu up front. And Sylvain, the details of playing defense, I think it's just much better if it comes from a guy who knows all the small things, because that's a lot of playing defense. Is the main structure is the easy part, where your stick goes, when to press, all of the small things. I think experience matters, and he has that, and he spent some time coaching. But it's a personality fit as much as anything else. He is very detailed, very patient, a great teacher, and he has this easy personality about him. Doesn't mean he's soft. He just has an easy connection to all of those. He can talk to them like a colleague. He can, and they respect that. We've got some now veteran players on the blue line that don't need a lot of motivation. They're very self-driven, so it's not on the coach to get them to work harder. So they just have a mutual respect. He won a cup as a player. He understands what it's like to play 2 months into a playoff grind for a defenseman, what's reasonable, what's not. I don't really spend much time thinking about that end of the bench in terms of the match. He's got it figured out. So that for me is the tell. I just leave him, just don't mess anything up.
Take three more for coach. Right side, third row, Luke. Or, excuse me, right side, second row.
Sorry. Paul, last year after Game 7 on the ice, some players told me that the message in the locker room was freedom, and then in the parade you yelled it at the players. How do you settle on those pregame messages, and have you settled on one for tonight?
I try to move around them as much as I can. That came up from after Game 6. I stayed here and did the game before I left. I almost will never do the game after the game. You're too emotional and you don't see things right, but we just weren't moving. I thought Game 5 that we lost at home was the best game that we played the entire playoffs. We were fantastic in that game. And I thought we started to tighten a little bit in Game 6, and I just didn't want that. So that wasn't a theme all year. It's just what the video looked like. We looked a little tight, and I just thought the team had earned the right to play with freedom. So it was a 3-day. I walk around the room, try to get a feel for what I think they need, and then at some point the words come.
Right side, third row.
Paul, how much more confident are you in Anton Lundell's abilities as a shutdown center this year compared to last year? How's he grown in that regard?
Well, it started 2 years ago, and it started in the Toronto series, Series 2 for us 2 seasons ago. We got the lead, but at that time he's also playing with Sam Reinhart, so it's Luostarinen, Lundell, and Reinhart. And as soon as we got the lead on a team, they would take their elite line, pull them off Barkov and Bennett, and run them on Lundell. And there wasn't much we could do about it on the road, and they were good. So they kind of went into last year and stopped worrying about that match, and it's allowed us not to be a hard match team. There are nights that he heats up on the faceoffs that you actually want him left side on the D-zone draw. When Reinhart was there, we just start running him on all the D-zone draws because we had left and right-handed centermen. And I think they call him a mini Barkov. There's a reason for that. They view the game the same way. There's a defensive mindset first, but we kind of felt with his first year, I think he scored 18 goals. There was more offense there to be had. It's just he wouldn't sacrifice the defensive game for the offense. And then we saw it during the year, but then when Brad came, it's different now. They generate a little differently. So we've got an awful lot. This guy's a really good, he's not even young anymore. We don't view him as young. He's a good center iceman.
Last one, the second row.
Hey, Paul, congratulations on making it to another Stanley Cup final.
Thank you.
Last year, after winning the Cup, you had a message for Winnipeg Jets fans and the team. You were saying that your hope is that the Jets get to the Stanley Cup. They didn't quite make it this year. I'm just wondering if you have any words for the Jets, their fans, and what you think they need to do to get over the hump.
Yeah, get rid of their last coach was the right thing to do because it won a President's Trophy. I cheer for 3 teams, basically. I cheer for the Vancouver Canucks because of Jim Rutherford. I cheer for the Winnipeg Jets because of Winnipeg, and I was cheering for the Dallas Stars for Pete DeBoer. Right? If you put everything into this, and you're not cheering for the other team, you're cheering for your own team. But if you're gonna lose, you want to lose to one of those 3 groups. That's kind of the idea. Now, my cheering for the team hasn't done them much good, it seems, but they've just got the right story in Winnipeg for the National Hockey League and what's right about the game. You saw it in the connection with what Mark Scheifele did to play in that game, the connection to his brothers. But that's not just a one-off. That starts at the top of that organization. And it fits very well with the fan base there. And they won the President's Trophy. And I think the Florida Panthers did a couple years before they got to the final. So I think they're right there.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Okay.
For Gus, looking back at this repeat here, you guys have 14 guys coming back from last year. They have 16. How much do you expect that familiarity to affect the series, if at all, here?
Yeah, I mean, the core is pretty similar, but, we got some new players, and, it's a new year, so it's going to be different.
Right side, second row.
Brad, how has your appreciation for Anton Lundell grown since you've become a member of this team?
I always knew he was a really good player. He plays a really good two-way game, and I always thought he played hard. But yeah, I definitely got a new appreciation for just his 200-foot game. He plays a complete game every night. This team's very fortunate to have him in the third hole there. I mean, his talent level is incredible. The way he can make plays in little spaces and the way he reads ice to find space to put himself in a scoring opportunity. And he's just a great little player. And it's not often that you have a guy like that who plays a 200-foot game at his age, and he's only going to get better. So he's going to have a very, very bright career.
Right side, second row.
Hey, Brad, right here. I'm sorry if you were asked this before, but in the category of It's a Small World, your father played with Evander Kane's father in Nova Scotia. Just wondering if you knew that, and I was wondering if how similar a player he was to you, your dad.
I did know that. Yeah, it's something we talked about. I think it came up at when Kane was at the World Juniors, and we were watching, and he kind of filled me in that they had played together, and I knew. I heard a lot of stories about my dad growing up. He played like I did. He was a lot tougher. He was very tough growing up and played a very hard game. But yeah, I definitely knew about that.
Left side, third row.
Yeah, for both you guys. Gus, you've been around Coach Maurice for 3 years now. Brad, you've been around for a few months. Just curious, if you guys were introducing or explaining who Paul Maurice is to someone for the first time, how would you describe Paul Maurice?
I mean, he's got a great hockey mind, obviously, but he's very smart, and he sees the game very well, and just a great guy overall. He's a great human being. That's one thing that really stood out to me, how good of a human he is, and he really cares.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with everything that Forsey said. He just keeps things light. He obviously is very good at getting his messaging across, relaying what the style of game that we need to play. He does a great job at making changes throughout series and throughout games. And then just, the way he makes you feel, the passion that he obviously has. And he's one of those people that know how to bring the best out of each and every player. He's a great coach, great person too.
Front right.
Gustav, I know you face tough matchups no matter who you're going up against, but I'm wondering how much more challenging is it when it's Connor McDavid?
Yeah, for sure. He's for sure probably the best player in the world, and it's always scary when he's out there. He's got great speed, and his skill is off the charts, obviously, and you got to be aware where he is at all times, and you can't fall asleep out there. You always the way we play, we want to have a hard gap on our forwards, and we're not going to change now. We want to still play hard gap, but at the same time, you got to be smart.
Left side, fourth row.
Yeah, Brad, your time at Four Nations playing with Connor McDavid, did you get to know him a little better? And any insight now in having to try and stop him here in the Cup final? But what'd you gain from that?
Yeah, you're not going to stop him, right? It's just trying to limit how many opportunities he gets. Obviously, when you get to watch a player like that up close and see the little things that he does that make him so special, it was incredible to see the way that he, obviously, he's gifted and talented, but to see his work ethic and how hard he competes and his determination, he's the best player in the world for a reason. And I think every team in this league has tried to contain that guy. You're not going to do it, right? It's just you try to work as hard as you can to try to limit how many opportunities he gets. So hopefully you can keep it to 10 or 15 instead of 20 or 30.
Take one more question, back right in Swedish.
Gustav, en ganska betydande dag idag. Det är första matchen i den här finalserien. Hur balanserar du nervositet med excitement och ivrighet att få komma ut och spela?
Men man försöker behålla lugn och inte bli för taggad på morgonen och försöka hantera det som en vanlig match då. Och sen får vi försöka få en bra sömn här, käka och sen match.
Och när brukar du slå på matchskallen?
Jag tror den är på egentligen hela dagen på ett sätt, men jag skulle säga när man kommer ner till hallen är väl då det börjar på riktigt.
Tack.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Here.
Yeah, finally it's over. Obviously, it was a week of little rest and getting ready for this series. So we're excited to get it going. Finally.
Can you describe just the mindset you guys have here? Because it seems like you guys truly, like you have all season long, approach this in a truly business-like way, and it seems like you guys just look like a team that knows what to expect here.
Yeah, for sure. And we had 1 week of time to refocus and think about what's coming. So now we know what to expect. Like obviously every single game is going to be a battle, but the most important thing is to go game at a time, one shift at a time, and that's been our mindset whole year and whole playoffs. So just be ready for your first shift.
What's it like to play in this building? What's the atmosphere like for you?
It's great. It's super loud. They're really good fans. They support their team. So you come in here and your ears are ringing. So that means playoff hockey is here. And it's super loud building to play and great atmosphere.
Chatting with some of the staff and some of the trainers, they say it feels like you guys were just here yesterday. How much does this feel like a continuation of last year's Stanley Cup?
I can't say it's a continuation, but every year is new year, new people in the locker room. So it was a long road once again to get to this point, and once again it's against Edmonton. So it's great. Like we had a great series last year, went all the way to Game 7, and can't wait to get this one going again.
We talk about it all the time, but how important are those first few shifts for you guys?
every game, first shifts are important. Just have to be ready. Like they're a really good team. They're a fast team, so they're gonna start very fast. So we need to be ready for that.
Sasha, how much does it help that the production you've gotten, the offensive production you've gotten from defense, as far as the depth scoring that's added, maybe taking some pressure off the forwards as well?
Yeah, it helps for sure. Yeah, I mean our game is also like based on that. Like you play as much as possible in offensive zone, and you use your defensemen to try and for them to get the shots through the net, and then you get the rebounds and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it helps a lot when you know you can give it to the defensemen and they can also put the puck in the net. So it's been crucial for us this playoffs.
What's Brad Marchand's personality kind of meant off the ice for you guys as you get ready for this big win?
It's great. Like obviously knowing him very well when you play against him, but he comes in here and spends 16 years or something in Boston in one team, and then comes in here. It's not easy, but I feel like he came in here and felt like he was here for 16 years because he's really comfortable here. He's just himself, and that's very important for every guy who's new or who comes in to be himself. So Marshy has been incredible for us on and off the ice, and such a funny guy and always in a good mood.
Thank you.